Good day, Bermuda, and thank you for joining us for this afternoon's press conference with the Acting Minister of Labor, the Honorable Wayne Furbert, JP-MP. I now welcome Minister Furbert to begin. Minister?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Brinkman. Good afternoon, everyone. As Acting Minister of Public Works, I'm pleased to provide an update on the ongoing trench work being carried out across the island and to share the plans for asphalting the roads. Firstly, I want to recognize the frustration experienced by members of the public who've had to contend with what most seem like a never-ending series of stoplights. Your patience is very much appreciated. I'm pleased to announce that the critical work carried out to reinforce the section of Harbour Road between Lovers Lane and Highwood Lane has been completed. I would especially like to take a moment to express my gratitude for the long hours and dedication from the cross-departmental team at Public Works for coming together to get this project to a successful conclusion. Those departments include the highway section, planning and estates. Some of these individuals worked in the cold and rain to ensure traffic flow during peak times. I was happy to join them sometimes to understand better how the traffic was moving so that we could make adjustments, which we did. My thanks also go to our partners in the private sector and the area residents for the cooperative spirit in helping us to overcome initial challenges. As was previously stated, the adjustment to the budget for this project was funded by realizing cost savings within the ministry's budget. Bringing this specific project to a close is an important milestone. It allows the ministry to continue pushing forward with the remaining roadworks in the Eastern, Central, and Western parishes. It has been the firm commitment of this government to provide and maintain jobs to Bermudians through the execution of significant infrastructure upgrades to our highways and byways, electrical grid, and waterways management systems. Over the next couple of months, we anticipate traffic disruption associated with entrenching to be eased on the following locations: St. George's, Southside Road and Carters Bay Road, Duke of Clarence Street to Old Military Road, Mullet Bay to Ferry Reach, Tamarind Vale to Burnt House Hill, Vermont Road to Middle Road, Store Hill, Harrington Sound Road, Devil's Hole, Neptune Hill, Manor House Bridge. In addition to the list above, I want to highlight the commencement of the road widening project between Tamarind Vale and Burnt House Hill. Commuters have been the limestone excavation in December, which will allow for a sidewalk to be built, making it safer for pedestrians and motorists alike. The residents in that area have my sincere thanks for allowing boundaries to be moved and for their patience with the necessary disruption to access their homes. The retaining wall and sidewall installation will occur after the trenches are complete, with an estimated completion time in the fall of this year. The Ministry of Public Works will be providing the whole aspect of just lost one of my part. The retaining wall and sidewalk installation will occur after the trenches are complete, with an estimated completion time in the fall of this year. The Ministry of Public Works will be providing updates on this project and the status of each of the other listed locations in the coming weeks. We will also be sharing a map of the island showing the location of each trench, showing the estimated completion times with the named roads. Once the trench work has been completed in a particular area, asphalt will commence to smooth out the roads and repair potholes and damage to the road surface. The area from Harrington Sound Road to Painters Road has been identified as the first to be asphalted, with that phase estimated to begin mid-February. Thank you, and I will take a few questions from members of the media. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. At this time, I welcome Jasmine Pedersen to ask our questions.
Hi, good
Hello, good
afternoon, Minister.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you're live and you can go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Minister Furbert. Thank you for your time. Just a couple of questions. You mentioned that some work has progressed on Harbour Road in the area between Highwood Lane and Lovers Lane. At last check, there were no costs associated or incurred from going over budget, and that was set at $250,000. Is this still the case?
Well, the full numbers are still being worked out on. There may be some cost overruns, but we're going to be getting our money from other parts of the budget that we maybe have some savings on. But the final numbers have not been in place, but we should be very close to it.
But would you say it's a significant amount over budget?
I wouldn't say no.
With regard to the property dispute that the government said was causing a lot of the delays to that work, will costs for settling that dispute come out of this budget or a separate fund?
Well, there was no settlement cost. We just ran in, did some changes to what we was working on, and we've been working on the wall, but there's no settlement at all.
Are you able to sort of detail the nature of the property dispute and how it came to a successful conclusion?
Well, unfortunately, Jasmine, across the road, there's some other land, and the government at the time, the engineer did not know that property belonged to the resident in that area. So we went in, have a talk with the individual, and she was so kind, and we agreed to what we worked on, and that's where we are now. So we have worked on it, and there we are.
So you mentioned that lots of work would be commencing across the island. The main delay for this sort of work, was this largely down to the pandemic, or were there other staffing issues that were a problem?
Well, the staffing would have been with the contractors, not the government. You know, a lot of the work is being done by Belco, but because I'm assuming that some of the delays had to do with the weather, had to do with probably some pandemic aspect of it. And we was trying to move traffic as much as possible, as far as fast as much as possible.
And just lastly, in terms of lessons learned from the situation with Harbour Road, going forward, if there is any major work going to be done, will you endeavor to ensure that private property is not infringed upon?
If the lesson, we have learned a lesson. Ask first, build later.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. Now we'll be bringing in Sean Colony to ask his questions on the road debt.
First question, Minister, you mentioned that the trenching work will be finished at by the fall of this year. And after that, you said that uneven road surfacing work will have to be carried out to correct all the uneven. How long do you think that will take, and what's the cost of that?
Can you repeat that question? Yeah, some parts I didn't hear.
Sorry, you just mentioned that the trenching work will finish by the fall of this year. But it's previously been stated that work will then need to be carried out to correct all the uneven road surfaces. How long do you think that will take, and what will the cost of that be?
I don't have that number in front of me right now, Gareth, but I can tell you right now that the work on Harrington Sound should be starting, I believe, you said be correct, I think it's sometime in April or late March. The digging of the trenching has stopped in part of St. George's. They're moving to the south side very soon. So we realize that our roads are bumpy. Every one of us, I'm sure we have ridden on the road and found out it's bumpy. But so the government recognized that, and so some actions will be taken. And like I said, I think we'll be starting the Harrington Sound side sometime in March or April. When it'll be finished, I can at the time tell you exactly when.
Okay. So you say some action will be taken, but do you have the money for it? Because just last month, government backbencher Chris Famous said there was a lack of cash. There's going to be cuts in capital spending, and I'll quote him. He said, "Potholes, broken railings, and overgrown cane grass may very well not get attended to in the short term." So is this going to be put on the back burner? Things like potholes in the roads, the condition of the roads, because
I can guarantee you one sure thing, that potholes will be fixed. We've done some potholes. I know as I've been acting minister, we fixed some of the potholes. We don't like private potholes. I know there's one aspect of one area that we're waiting for a top to come in to actually get that pothole fixed. But there is money in the budget for asphalting.
Okay, so Mr. Famous wasn't quite accurate when he said that.
I don't know. I didn't actually read that part.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, what's the progress on Tynes Bay? You got it back up to normal efficiency. Is that still the case? And have you been able to work out any way of extending its lifetime?
Well, I mean, today, Sean actually named here, Sean. Garth, today we're talking about the roads. I will have a further update on Tynes Bay as time goes on.
Okay.
Right now, I can tell you right now that all the boilers are up and working. Everything's working up accordingly.
Okay. What's happening about vertical farming? It's been 14 months since you said that you were close to coming to an agreement with an American company about setting a vertical farm up here, and that was after a year of negotiations. So that was in November of 2020, and we've heard nothing since. And I've been repeatedly trying to get you to speak on this, and my emails haven't been answered. I've been going through government information services and getting no response, or just very bland statements that say absolutely nothing at all, very unspecific. So considering that it was 14 months ago that you were very close to coming to a deal with aero farms in the US, how much closer are we now? Why haven't we seen any progress on this?
Sean, again, Gary, thank you for asking that question. Today we're talking about roadworks. I'll bring the public up in due course in regards to vertical farming. The discussions, do not due diligence, is still going on.
Okay. What about the arbitration center? Again, Colonel Birch in 2020 said that work would begin at the start of 2021, and the project was meant to be completed by March of this year, 2 months away. I walked past there yesterday, and it didn't look as it was anywhere near completion. I understand that this is a public-private initiative, and there were issues with funding. But how are we getting on with those?
Gary, again, thank you for that question. I know you put that question towards our team, and our team will be responding to you accordingly.
Yeah, I put it to them a couple of days ago.
And they've been very busy, as you know, Garth. They will get to you very soon.
But surely they're only going to go to you to get the answer. So why can't I just go to you?
They will be responding to you very soon.
Okay, Melissa. I think that's it. Thanks. Oh, actually, one other thing. Sorry. Inflation comes under your remit through the Department of Statistics, which comes under the Cabinet Office. And obviously, there's been a lot of question marks raised about inflation. And I think last figures that the government gave was that it was at 2.2%, and the opposition has questioned that, and sort of people in the finance sector. Are you still happy that government is producing a department that comes under your remit is producing accurate figures?
I'm very happy with the work being done by the Statistics Department, the same group that was working for the opposition when they were in government. They believe the numbers when they were in government, and we also believe the work that's being carried out by them.
The difference is, Minister, when they were in government, nobody was actually questioning those figures. Now people are beginning to question the figures because they just don't seem to run in line with other countries such as the US and the UK, where we import all our goods from. They're running much higher inflation rates. So
yeah, well, it's the same basket of goods that they have been using for years, Garth. And so if it's chicken in 2017, 2015, and 2020 and 2021.
Sure, but if we're buying our chicken from the US and the US rate of inflation is 1%, then that's going to be our rate of inflation, or it's going to be close to that. And then if suddenly inflation rates in the US go up to 6, 7, 8%, then surely that's going to be reflective in our inflation rate.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Garth. I trust what the department is given to us based on their experience and based on the basket of goods they've been managing for years.
Okay, and one final question, Minister. Can we have an update on the economic stimulus project? How many companies have been hired? How many projects have been completed? And how many jobs have been created? And again, this is a question that I've been putting to you for months. And we keep on getting statements from government saying, oh, it's created, you know, there was this one project and it's created 20 jobs. But that's not really the true statistic. And you did agree with me on this on one previous occasion. If it creates 20 jobs, but that project ends in a week, then it's a bit misleading to say that that's, you know, oh, we've created 20 jobs. You sort of created 20 jobs for 1 week. It's not long-term jobs.
Oh, well,
what are the latest figures on this? Could you give me, what we'd really like to know is how many hours, man hours, of these projects created?
I don't have that information in front of me right now, Garth.
Well,
but at the time,
but do you have it available? Would you be able to
time,
get to me by the end of this week, say by tomorrow? Because I keep on asking for it and you keep on saying that you don't have it to hand, but you'll get it to me.
at the time when you asked us how many jobs had been created, that's the exact amount of jobs that had been created at the time. I do not have that information in front of me right now.
But would you be able to get it to me?
Sure, the team will look into it and see how we can get back to you.
Okay, and sorry, I forgot I had one more question actually. My Bermuda Post, how's it going?
I'm sorry, was that?
My Bermuda Post, it was set up in, I think it was November. Is it proving popular?
Yeah, we've had a lot of people sign up for it.
Yeah. Any figures that you can give me?
No, not at this time. No, I can't.
Okay, I think that's my final question, Minister. So thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Any more questions on the road?
No, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Gareth, for your time. Minister, that is the final questions. Do you have any closing remarks?
No, like I said, I'm very happy for what has been done by the team from the ministry. I like to especially call a gentleman who I worked with and was waving to everybody along Harbour. We call him Speed Bump. He was a very nice guy, and I saw him standing out there in the rain and the wind, and we have a good team working at the ministry, and so I'd like to thank them for all their hard work, and again, thank the public for the patience, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Bermuda, for tuning in, and everyone have a great day.